All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's on the Powers. I've got a couple interesting stories for you guys today. The first story is going to be the story that a lot of people have been waiting for, and that is Larry Wheels' first strongman competition this past weekend at the LA Fit Expo. Now, as most of you know by now, Larry has been spending some time over in Iceland with Hafthor Bjornsson, learning how to train for strongman and how to do these events, with the short-term goal of qualifying for the Arnold Classic Amateur Strongman competition, where there's an opportunity to turn pro. So the first step in that process was competing in this LA Fit Expo Strongman competition. So Larry did end up taking second at this LA Fit Expo Strongman competition, so he did not qualify for the Arnold Amateur Strongman event. And I don't think there's any more qualifying opportunities between now and then, so it looks like we're probably not going to see him compete at the Arnold in Strongman. Now, I did also want to mention and give a shout out to the guy that actually won this competition and ended up beating Larry and qualifying for the Arnold Strongman. And that is Jose Manuel Baez Jr., or JBaez57 on Instagram, if you want to check him out and give him a follow. So congratulations to him for winning this event. I'm sure that's a pretty big feather in his cap, beating a guy like Larry Wheels, a big-name guy like that. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to the Strength Central YouTube channel, which was the first channel to post this footage of Larry Wheels competing at this strongman event. They've got a bunch of great, powerlifting and strength sports related content over there. So if you want to go check them out, I'm going to link them in the description box below. So overall, I think it was actually a pretty good showing for Larry Wheels. I mean, keep in mind, again, this is his very first strongman competition ever. He's only been training since the beginning of the year, and January is not even over yet. So he's really just dipping his toes in the water of strongman competition, and I think this is just the beginning for him. And I don't think we've seen the last of Larry Wheels competing in strongman, even though as of now he hasn't qualified for the Arnold Amateur. I'm sure, after the Arnold and as we get into the summer, there's going to be a lot more opportunities for him to compete and maybe qualify for next year's Arnold Strongman Amateur. So congratulations to Larry for a good showing at his first show. Congratulations to Jose for winning. And we all look forward to seeing what Larry is going to do in the future with this whole strongman thing. So next up, we've got Kenny KO versus Brad Castleberry, part 2. So most of you guys have probably seen my video that I posted yesterday. It's gotten a ton of views, over 200,000 in like 10 hours or something like that. So essentially what the story was yesterday is on Brad Castleberry's Instagram, on his live feed, there was a confrontation between him and Kenny KO, where essentially Kenny approaches him and brings up the fact that they had plans to meet up and actually film Brad doing the lifts that he claims are real weights to prove that the weights are real. And Kenny basically brings up the fact that, they had these plans and they never ended up meeting up. And Brad cuts him off in the video and says, look, I don't care about that. And then Brad basically says, we did meet up and you refused to post the videos that I did. So I've got another video for you guys of this confrontation shot from a better angle. It's longer. You can hear more of what actually the exchange is between these two guys. And it's just a better angle overall. And I want to give a shout out to Jesus Corona, who sent me this. He was at the LA Fit Expo and got this footage. And I do want to say I think it's important to get Kenny's side of the story here as well, because in the first video, you kind of really only see Brad's side of Brad saying, look, we met up, and you just refused to post those videos. And shortly afterwards, Kenny messaged me and said, look, me and Brad never met up. We never filmed any videos. He's just straight up lying. And in the longer version of the video that I have for you guys today, it kind of supports Kenny's side of the story, because that's the first thing that Kenny says right after Brad kind of kicks him out of the booth. He says to the people that were kind of standing around spectating, he said, look, me and Brad never filmed anything. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that other video for you guys right now.
You guys actually wait in line for us. We've been Brad. Hey, this guy's always editing his photos.
Boom.
Hey, we did make it. He didn't put his videos up, but we did. What's the name of this guy? What's your name? Let me know his name. I see him on YouTube making shitty videos. The bad influence for the industry. He shouldn't be here. Thank you guys. You're gonna say we. Alright, wait, is it rolling? We never made any videos with Brad proving any weights ever. What that claim is, I don't know. Obviously, I mean...
So do with that information what you will, but I think, whether you like or dislike Kenny, there's two sides to every story, and it's my job to report both sides to those stories. And also, Kenny said he'll be posting a video tomorrow clarifying everything, so I guess you guys can look forward to that. But from my perspective, if they did go to the trouble to meet up, even if Brad proved all his lifts were real, the weights were real, he's strong as shit, I don't see why Kenny wouldn't post it. Either way, it's going to get a ton of views. Even if he proved Kenny wrong, the fact that he's proving him wrong would get a ton of views. So I don't see why Kenny wouldn't have posted it if they did in fact meet up. But that's just my 2 cents. Now, the next story is actually the story that I find to be the most fascinating story of this entire video. And I can't believe that more people aren't actually talking about this. So the IFBB Pro League has recently announced on their Instagram that in 2019, there will be the first annual Ben Weider Natural IFBB Pro Championships. Now, this is really, really fascinating to me, and I'm curious to see more information. There's not a whole lot of information out there about it right now, but there will be more information coming soon. And as more information comes out, I'm going to keep you guys posted. But this show is going to be an amateur and a professional competition. And in the amateur division, they're going to be awarding 7 IFBB Pro cards to the natural amateur competitors. So the show will be drug tested. Both the amateurs and the pros will be drug tested at this show, and it's called the Ben Weider Natural Pro Championships, and will be held on September 20th and the 21st in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, of 2019, September of 2019. Now, this really leaves me with a ton of questions, like what drugs will they be testing for? How strict will the testing be? Will it be like an invitation-only event where only certain pros will be invited? Will they have men's open bodybuilding in the professional natural division? And they're basically inviting open IFBB bodybuilders that claim to be natural. That should be a very interesting thing to see. Or will we see current IFBB pros that aren't natural maybe go natural for this Natural Pro Championships? And will that be something that's allowed? Or will they even have men's open bodybuilding at all? And could it just be IFBB, classic physique, men's physique, and then the women's divisions? Now, again, I'm not really sure why more people aren't talking about this, because I think this is a massive step in the right direction in recognizing the fact that, number one, there's a lot of natural competitors out there that have really, really good physiques. And number two, the way that the IFBB has been focused on maybe a healthier route to competing as a pro, the way that they've made the classic physique division, the men's physique division, these downsized divisions where guys wouldn't have to take as extreme physical tolls on their body in terms of their cycle, in terms of their diet, the amount of food they have to consume, all the stuff that is associated with being, a massive men's open bodybuilder. They've added these new divisions so that those things wouldn't have to be done. And now they've added a natural championship, really recognizing the fact that this is something that's, really popular and something that a lot of people are passionate about, is competing naturally. So I'm excited to see more information come out. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, because as soon as there's more information released about this, I'm going to be sure to give you guys an update. I think this definitely deserves its own individual video. Once we know more about it, the qualification process, the drug testing process, if there's an invitation process, this might even be a show that, is worth it to me to actually fly out to and film, just to see if we get any guys, for men's open dropping down to the natural category. I think this could be a very, very fascinating thing. And the other question would be, could this show be an Olympia qualifier? Since it is an IFBB Pro show, if you win this show in men's open, would you qualify for the Olympia? So there's a lot of fascinating questions that have yet to be answered. I think a lot of us are very excited to hear those answers. All right, guys, so the next story that I have for you guys is powerlifting related, and this is a pretty interesting story as well. A lot of good stories today. So this is a 15-year-old high school freshman that set a bench press world record, and she's a female, and the world record that she benched was 355 pounds. This is a 15-year-old girl. Now, I'm not entirely sure about what weight class she's in or, any of that stuff, but it was a world record, and she made it look incredibly easy. I mean, it's absolutely insane how quickly that weight moved, and obviously it's pretty cool. She's got the whole school out to watch her, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that video for you guys now. So very impressive lift by Michaela Reeves. So congratulations to her again, 15 years old, female, 355-pound bench, insane. So the final story that I have for you guys today, which has pretty much been a tradition for the past couple news videos, is going to end with a pro wrestling story. So the Royal Rumble was last night, the second biggest wrestling event in professional wrestling. And it was a pretty predictable outcome. So the winner of the men's Royal Rumble was Seth Rollins. Again, everybody pretty much predicted this, so he will be main eventing at WrestleMania. But in my opinion, Seth Rollins winning was not the most exciting part of the men's Royal Rumble. The most exciting part was number 30. The entrant happened to be Nia Jax, who came out and cleaned house, Nia Jax being a women's competitor, and then proceeded to get beat up on by 75% of the men in the ring, which I thought was an interesting, risky choice by the WWE. And they're probably going to get some criticism, in 2019 for having a woman get beat up by like 3 or 4 dudes. I don't know, man. It was very entertaining to see her come out and beat up the guys, and then the guys in turn fought her. But it was just kind of a weird storyline decision, man. I don't know why they went with that, but it was entertaining, I guess, considering the fact that it's fake. But I don't know, man. It just seems to me like direct male-on-female violence and multiple men at that. Just seems like a weird marketing decision for the WWE. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed these news stories today. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit subscribe to see updates on some of these stories that I'm sure there will be more information coming out on. So thank you guys for watching. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.